Good morning, everybody. Rose about to be in here. She just had to step away really quick. How's everybody doing today? Whoa. I was getting all fired up. We were listening to Bearded's I guess not their podcast right now. It is their live. So sorry to anybody that is peeling away from there. We don't want to take from their show at all. But it was interesting. I was listening to a lot of their topics that they're talking about today. Oh, good morning, Kelly Debs. How are you? Hello, aloha, Spam Banshee. And always lovely to see you, Fraulein Donna. It's so good to have you all on. But yeah, again, Ro will be right here. She'll be here in just a quick minute. But it's interesting. That was really nice to hear them talk about like some topics that were of interest. That Bearded or Scott, he selects some like books that he has kind of the whole group read, and they're really valuable. Oh, Rose here, yay! Or Rose, she's just sitting down on a cup of coffee.
I was grabbing my coffee.
But so yeah, he was talking about like books that they're getting ready to read, and they're debating one that it talks a lot about process, and that's something that is really near and dear to Ro and I's heart. Is hey, good morning, Mike Sauer, great to see you. But that's something really near and dear to Ro and I's heart, is constantly revisiting the process. And it's funny, we have like a few different sayings that kind of bounce around in our brain as we're thinking about making any changes to our, well, we call it our little mini organization, but our little mini process that we have. But so like I shared on Bearded's chat, hey, good morning, Record Crate, glad you're here for the win. Good morning, Gina V.
Good morning.
And hello, Paul Rose, so good to see you, mate. But yeah, so there was one quote that we're adding to. It's kind of cool, and it says, organization is a process. Organizing is a process, and an organization is the result of that process. And that's such a good quote, just for the fact that it really is true that anything you call an organization, there has to be that organization presence there. And so we're constantly revisiting what our process looks like, and how committed we are to that process. Because you can say you have a process, and you could say that you're doing it and everything, but when you really look at it, you might hit the process every once in a while, but it's really dots on an overall line that you're missing. So it's kind of an interesting topic to think about, of how can we get reorganized to where the process is locked in, that it's consistent and it's repeatable, and that when you repeat it, you continue to build on those results. And it's just such an interesting question. We're not showing up here with any answers, but these are the kind of questions that we like to ask, because often the group here has great recommendations. Many are with us where they're really at the just very beginning of trying to get all that sorted out, and really figure out what that would mean for them consistently, what it means for them long term. And so it's just kind of an interesting thought this morning of what is it for everyone? What does it look like with do you have a process? Do you feel like for your organization or for your size that really you're built for that? Or I'm just kind of curious to see where everybody's at with it. That, again, not putting anybody on the spot here, but we're, so just to set the table for that too, for Ro and I, we're constantly revisiting whether or not we even have a consistent process in place, just to make sure that we're clear on that we'll talk about that all the time. Like we need to refine the process. We need to establish a process. Excuse me. But one thing that's definitely really ever present with us, though, is the expression, a goal without a deadline is just a dream. And so we realize too, for us, it's not only establishing the process itself that we're trying to work on and build. And again, we're not there. We're aspirational to get there. So just to make sure that that's clear to the whole group here. But it's been interesting, though, that we're definitely looking at it from two perspectives. One, we're trying to get organized with what we do, and we're trying to figure out how long it takes us, what we enjoy doing. And I mentioned that when I did like my live list with me video just a few weeks back, or a couple weeks back, that I just highlighted the fact that for us, we'll have many processes. And yeah, and hey, great to see you, Record Crate. Jen, JRK 1964. So glad to have you with us. So awesome to see you. Gina V. But so it's interesting that for us, we will often put a process in place that it might not be the most efficient, but because we enjoy doing it, it helps us to do it over and over again and to stay in the race with it and to keep doing it. And so, like, for example, we talked about before too, when we like to write out our little thank you cards for our packages, it's technically very inefficient, but we feel like it brings value to when somebody is viewing our packages and they open it up and they see like a happy thank you card that's found inside there. And I think for both of us, I mean, I can't speak for you, but for me, I enjoy writing them. It brings me joy filling out a little card because we genuinely do
It is nice. Yeah. No, it
have
is
gratitude for that.
part of the joy that day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, that's one of the first things that you get started with actually when we usually begin.
So,
So-
like Paul Rose says, I always start the day by organizing my money. Once those 30 seconds are done, I move on with the rest.
Oh, that's so funny.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, don't worry, Paul Rose. That's certainly us too for so many different things. All right, here, go ahead and take the wheel for just a quick second, babe. I'm gonna go.
Sure. Yeah, so it's really good to see you guys all here this morning. Frontline Donna said a goal without a deadline is just a dream, major win. Yep, so she's agreeing with us. I like to make sure to schedule. Oh, I put something in front of it. Callie Deb says, I like to make sure to schedule at least one listing to launch every morning to jumpstart my store. That is incredibly smart. I will say that is our goal as well. We're not always great about executing that, but we have been working towards that more often because, honestly, sadly, when we are in the listing mode, so often we forget to actually schedule it. So we are working better on scheduling our listings so that they are more consistent. We feel that would possibly help our store a little bit better if we had those regular listings that were going off maybe like on the hour or whatever, but we are thinking about doing that.
Yeah, and so that is actually really funny that you mentioned that, Ro, too. That so we'll often only have like select chunks of time throughout the week where we can really focus on listing, and they're kind of oddball times. And so what we try to do during that time is we try to say, okay, well, let's establish all the listings for the day, but also too, then let's get all of the listings that we need throughout the week scheduled now, and where they're scheduled to go out throughout the week on the days when we can't really list or produce that very much, but produce very much. The challenge is though, is as I'm going through, I get so into the details and I do like the bulk of the direct listing creation and everything. I get so into the details that I go all the way through. And once I'm in the mode too, when I've already started to produce some listings for the day, I skip right past scheduling and then the listing's live. And then I don't want to go and pull it back and then fire it off again later. And so what I'll end up finding I do is like just doing a massive amount of listings one day. And then we've got dead spots throughout the rest of the week that we still need to jump in there and create new listings for.
Yeah, that gets frustrating because we know that's not ideal.
Yeah, and it's like it kind of reminded me of my brother-in-law said that they had a Labrador Retriever that whenever they go on vacation, and this is like back in the 70s, but whenever they go on vacation, they would leave like a massive amount of dog food for their Labrador Retriever, and they'd come back, and the Labrador is super skinny, and there was like one giant pile of poop. And then what they realized was happening is like as soon as they'd leave, the dog would eat like a week's worth of food all at once, and then it would like go to the bathroom because the body couldn't handle it, and then like for the rest of the week, it's like sitting around starving. So they learned that from the very first time, which is good. But it was such a good like that's the analogy that kind of runs through my brain as we think about this, and it's like we get like one massive meal that we create for ourselves,
then you're starving
and we're starving for the rest of the week. I mean, so we got to jump in there and get it started up. So let's see here.
So yeah, Paul Rose is saying that his sales are still not that great this week. Ours are not either. So they're not great, but we're trying to keep that work going. But sorry to hear that. And then yeah, it looks like Jen is. And by the way, good morning, Jen. It looks like Jen is, also agreeing. Sorry that it's not fun when you're going through a dry spell like that.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, and Ryan Resells Infinity, good to have you with us, man. Great to see you. But yeah, so I know Jen says, "Oh, poor dog." I know that was like, but don't worry, that wasn't a consistent thing. That happened like one time they figured out the routine. And in fairness, the dog for the first couple of days was living its best life. It's like I got all the food I could ever want. But I mean, we're getting to a point now with our little dog where we realize too that if we just give her just the dry kibble, that she does okay with it, but she does so much better with wet food, just even for her health, that we're trying to like improve her diet. I don't know why I'm kind of going off on that vein of thought, but there we go. There's that. Yeah, we're
I
working
thought
on
you
a
were
dog's
gonna
diet.
say. Well, I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna say because so our dog she's very 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 intelligent, but there are times when we've learned is very quiet, but there are times where she'll just walk around after she eats and she goes just like this little whine, and we've learned that if I do make her food that is too enticing, she'll eat it all and give herself a stomach ache. So I've learned to definitely limit her food to a very specific amount if it's too tempting.
Yeah. By the way, let's appreciate Cindy. It's so nice to have you with us. This is Callie Deb's friend. It's
Good morning, Cindy.
so nice to have you with us. And so I like the fact that she's jumping in there and giving props to her friend. She says, Jen's friend here. Let's see. Wait, Jen's friend. Oh, wait, no. So is it JRKR's friend? Oh, that's right. Okay. So, well, we're all friends with Callie Debs too. So, Callie Debs, you also have a friend. But Jen, sorry, JRKR 1964, Jen's friend. But yeah, I will be Callie Debs too. Sorry, Cindy. My bad. You'll find about me. I mean well, but I constantly get my wires crossed. It's a major fault. I'm trying to work a major fault. Da-da-da. All right. But so Cindy, Jen's friend, and Jen introduced you the other day saying that, I just reached out to my friend to subscribe and everything. We're so grateful. But she said, Jen's friend here, she's unrelentless. I am head down working and she is sending me pictures of dumpster diving. Really, Jen? Really? That is so cool.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah. I think, who was it? Was it?
Oh, Gina's so funny. I want dumpster diving pics. I agree with this.
Yeah.
I think we need to see this in action.
Totally. Yeah, send him to Primo Chemo, who's got his show later. We'd love to see that. But
that is so cool.
But yeah, I think it was it Craigslist Hunter? One of the bigger names that said that they used to go dumpster diving a lot for their stuff. Or maybe was it James the Great Reseller Life? It's probably all of them. They're probably like, yeah, we all did that.
Everyone's like, yeah, that's what we do.
But I just want to try to give credit where credit's due. But again, crossing wires here. But yeah. So, but anyway, Cindy, really quick though, so glad to have you with us. Really love to hear somebody be supportive of their friend, and that's just absolutely
that is super
rocking.
cool. You are a great friend.
Okay, now see, Callie Debs is like, nice to meet you, Cindy. Yeah, it's like, well, what we're just making friendships here. We're smushing friendships together. That might be the first time I've ever caused a friendship like without the participants yet being involved for the.
That's funny.
But anyways, well, good. You're all so glad you're all so good natured. Can I speak today? I don't know if I can speak today. But so Paul Rose, I go through periods of not having much in because I haven't had time to shop, or I've got loads in and don't get time to eat it. It's a funny job we do.
That's so true.
I think it's continuing with the dog analogy a little bit there. Yeah, that's definitely it. Is again, to use the expression from the old Killer song, like bonfires of trust, flash floods of pain. It's like you build up a little bit of good, and then you have something that comes in and just overwhelms your process, like a flash flood, where
absolutely
we will start to get a lock on how many items we've got, get them sorted, and start to get them listed, and then we'll get the call where, hey, we've got 20 huge industrial bags of clothes for you to sort through, and it's like, okay, well, that's just gonna overwhelm our storage area once again. We got to start carving through it, and right now we're definitely at a point to where we're still getting reorganized. It's amazing how much time is taken for even just committing to these little YouTube videos, and we're absolutely enjoying it, to be clear. But we have to now adjust for that time period to make sure that we we balance that now. It's a new component in the
Mhm.
overall process that we're still trying to figure out. So, um, but
So
here,
Jen said, to be clear, it's my husband that was in the dumpster and found some nice totes.
you know,
But
you almost have a really great friendship. It's beautiful to see that Cindy's giving props to Jen. Jen's giving props to her husband. We got to get Jen's husband on here, and he'll be like, you know what? I give props to like I give props back to Jen or whatever. But it's nice to see, you know, where there's gratitude, there is joy. So that is so cool that you guys have that
yeah, and
kind of
Cindy
appreciation.
said, in process of messaging to eBay for business, we actually have 3 stores, but second store is my daughter's. She put herself through grad school with it. That's
Woo!
fantastic.
Oh man, see that's what eBay needs to get on their celebrating on their site of like, hey, you know what? Here's how it went. But what we need is we need the process notes. We
Mhm.
need the challenges overcome. We need the joy in the end zone with the goals and everything once they're accomplished. All those things we need to be reinforced with right now because this is the time where it's like, you know, work while they sleep, or what's the expression? It's work in silence and let your results sing
Your
your praises, or
success, um,
let your success
your
do the talking.
success scene or something like that.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
your success do the talking. But yeah, and so those are kind of the unsung heroes that go in behind the scenes for our little community here. So, and let's see here, Kelly Deb's tip: slide the little slider on your listing to schedule before you start your listing, to line 1 each for the next 2 days. Yeah, Kelly Debs, that's excellent advice. I'm trying to get better about that.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great recommendation. It's like start with the thing that you is hardest or that you forget most often. I think that's
Yeah.
another good expression that
To
we've.
really kind of, yeah, because we just end up launching it and then we realize, oh, we were going to schedule that.
Yeah, totally. So, but appreciate that recommendation. And what's funny too is like even if you haven't heard something for or sorry, even if you have heard something for a first time, hearing it again,
Right.
I think, yeah, it's my favorite old literary guy, Samuel Johnson. I mentioned in a previous video, so this is repetitive, but where he said that people need to be reminded more than they need to be instructed. And it's just, you know, people need the information again more than they probably needed the first time.
All right, Paul Rose is coming right here. It's so awesome, and I can't agree with you more. I need a minion, lol. Just not listing fast enough. Keep getting derailed by other stuff. Every time I watch the Minion movie or any, I'm like, why don't we have minions?
Yeah.
Little people that just want to work. Now, granted, they like to do devious work,
Yeah.
but little people that just want to work and hang out and party with you. That's amazing.
I think that's what they're trying to get to with robots. That they're trying to get there, but you know,
Yeah, but then they'll take over.
that's, well, you know what? One thing at a time, babe. We can only take on so many challenges. Yeah, okay. So Ryan Resell, so the robots are coming. Yeah, so close, so close. All right. As long as we're not the obsolete part in the process, then that's all I'm concerned about. All right. Let's see here. So Cindy and I met in person recently and found out we still like each other. That's so awesome. That's super cool. Cindy Roach, I am with Paul on not having enough time. Just completed a third cross-country move since 2021. Met Jen while in Illinois, now in Kentucky. Oh man. So Cindy, I wonder where you're at in Kentucky. We actually just did a family trip out there. We did the Bourbon Trail. That was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that. I mean, you know, we didn't go wild or anything. This is not our style, but we enjoyed the whole. We enjoyed the operation of Kentucky, and then the limestone and just beautiful area. It was absolutely gorgeous. But
We skipped Cindy's other comment. So she
oh,
said,
sorry.
nice to meet you. Anyhow, they took our top seller because someone purchased from both of our stores and we combined shipping and they won't accept tracking for the second store because it was used in the first store. So they dinged us with 6 items and you lost top seller. That is an interesting scenario.
That's wild.
Have never thought of that situation.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that because so many of us have started to open second stores. And I guess now we can understand that, yeah, tracking won't be accepted for that. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, it's very good to know. Huh. Yeah, that's weird.
So funny that tracking that they would know that they're like, no, this was actually scanned already into another store. Wow,
Yeah.
that's very fascinating.
We've definitely, when we're doing a lot more of baseball card selling, we ran into that issue with the eBay standard envelope. Was driving us crazy that it was absolutely hit or miss whether it'd be scanned at all. Made it very easy for somebody to sit there on the other side and be like, "Oh, never got the card, never got the card," and then find out
Yeah, the
later, like,
standard
then they'll
envelopes are
update
frustrating.
yeah, then they'll update the scan, like, way later. It's like, "Oh, you totally got it. You're just,
Yeah.
trying to pull one over." Let's see here. So Cindy Roach had an estate clean out company that always gave me all the books. They don't like them. 2 weeks before moving, they dropped off another 14 boxes from a pastor's library. And sorting tracks today. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so it's interesting, actually, Cindy. You raise a good point about that. That's a lot of our operation is actually we just get phone calls now, and then people will drop stuff by. It means a lot of sorting on our side, but we're totally happy to put in that work, especially because we find so many different gems, and it's like, you got to be willing to, it's like it really is like mining, where without the risk of like a gas leak or something, or a cave in, as long as you don't get under the piles of stuff. But it is kind of like mining, where you just got to go through it, and then it's a lot of dirt, but then every once in a while you catch a gem. So, but yeah, that's a great approach, and it saves the kind of cutthroat competition of having to go through, like Goodwill or something.
Okay, wait, Gina, this isn't true, right? Always take a friend dumpster diving. I knew a young lady who died from being trapped in a dumpster when they dumped it. Is
Oh
that
man.
real?
Well, you know what? Wasn't there a situation though where there was like a special one of those? You know how sometimes they have like the railing that goes over the top to like prevent with bears and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
That somehow there was a person that like got in it, and then the thing like closed down on it, and they couldn't get out and got stuck. Yeah,
That's
that's
horrifying.
really scary.
I'm like blown away. I don't even know what to
It's
think of
like,
that.
yeah,
Wow.
that's like, how did they die? It's like, don't do that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. Where did you even see that comment?
It's after Ryan's comment. I go, mm,
Is it up here?
yeah, right there.
Okay, yeah. Well, Genevieve, I'm so sorry. I hope that's not a close personal friend or anything, but that's absolutely crazy.
Even if it's not a close personal friend, that's still sad.
It's still, yeah, still very sad, to be
That's a
clear.
horrifying way to die.
I know, yeah, and I don't mean to make jest of that and everything, but it's just like, it's
Right.
bizarre that I mean,
That's
but that's why
horrifying.
too, though, like we learned very quick, we had to start wearing some serious gloves when we did a lot more. We still do it, but we did a lot more of the Goodwill bins. We realized very quickly that going in there like barehanded is such an unwise
Yeah.
decision.
Well, even some of the clear outs that we've done, we have pretty strong in this room in particular, where we do a lot of our work. We had to get some pretty strong air purifiers because there were some clean outs and things that we did, but yeah, just we realized that we were bringing home so much dust, and we were actually starting to cough more. So we just decided to, take that PPE a little bit more seriously, and bringing a friend to help protect you is also important.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one of the best things that we would recommend, like, to anybody that would be going through and wanting to build relationships and everything, is like, hey, just start asking state sale companies, what does it look like when you guys close down? What happens to all that stuff? They might say, well, I've got a guy. Was like, oh, is that guy paying you something? It's actually a really good approach to getting a nice cleanup of stuff. And then it's funny too, we will often spend time actually just helping clean up too. Like, just knowing that they got an extra support is really nice for them. Let's see here. And so Cindy Rich said, "I'm in Georgetown. You would have been very close to me on the Bourbon Trail." That's super cool. I mean, I'm adding on the Bourbon Trail. I'm assuming that that's the case. But yeah, you would have been very close to me. That's so funny. Yeah, we absolutely enjoyed it. It's actually technically my second time. I also went back in 2015 with my brother-in-law. But yeah, it was a
It's
beautiful
gorgeous
trip.
out there.
And it was so fun because we had some kids along with us too. We made sure that we did like a lot of family related activities. And that is where we had some of our biggest laughs, and the best time was when the whole family was able to be involved. And like we went out there, there was like a little amusement place and everything that had like the United States longest go-kart track and everything. And it was so fun seeing those kids have like such a good time, just cruising along, being able to drive those cars, and everything. And because they had some oomph to them, so it was fun.
Good morning to the Great Reseller Live, and good morning to Matt. How are you guys?
Yeah.
Good to have you with us.
So I'm pooping early, so I'm on your live announcing that instead of primo and spam. Well, as long as it gets announced somewhere, Great Reseller Live, that's the main thing. But Ryan Resell's talking about the Dutch diving. It's a lot of dirt. Yeah, I bet that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But Great Reseller Life, really did appreciate your candor yesterday for your video. And that the subject was continued on with Josh Galt's life and everything. That this is one of those moments too where like the whole group has an opportunity to kind of just really show their character by when somebody's very very doing great, are you celebrating along with them? Do you have the kind of humanity to where even if you're not doing well, that you're like, we're so happy for you. We're so glad that you're able to make it. And also too, but somebody's at their lowest. That's where if somebody doesn't like you, they might come after you. But that's where you really see the generosity of somebody that's caring about you, wants to lift you up, and wants to see you whole again, to see you okay. And it was beautiful seeing that the larger part of individuals that are following your channel are, and I mean by the larger part, like 99.99999%, they're really interested in making sure that you, James, are doing well and are doing okay. And then they can celebrate along with you, like when you had your victory with your reseller trading cards and everything. That that's an absolute personal win for you, and we are all about that. We're going to be those individuals that if you dunk on us in every way and you make more money, you have a better process, you're more organized, that we're just going to be sitting there going, you know what? Hey, maybe someday for us. But no disgruntled feelings. We're just blown away and grateful for the fact that somebody's able to make it. So anyways, just want to throw that out there because we really care about you. We're sorry that you're going through that tough time, but you being frank too about how
Yeah, absolutely.
you being frank, although you're James, no, you being very honest about what that even looks like is no doubt very relatable to a lot of people that also go through a difficult thing. All that from him saying, I'm pooping early, so I'm on your
And Mr. Sadie said, how to stop by to support my perky friend.
Oh, Mr. Sadie, and I know Bearded's still going. We don't want to interrupt his show at all, but we're so glad that you stopped by. You're absolutely not only welcome, but certainly appreciated here. But yeah, I love hearing. I just love hearing you guys talk. I just love to sit there and I soak it up like I'm getting rewarded for something, which is so weird. But you guys are just awesome.
People talk about like barbershop. I was trying to think of barbershop and haircuts. Barbershop talk, where you just listen to the guys talking. Everything. That's like what it's like listening to that show.
That is, yeah, it is so great. Just a bunch of folks getting together talking shop, man. It's funny. But let's see here. I know I'm actually overlooking a bunch of comments, but we're doing the best we can this morning. We're very tired. So actually, talking about wins, which is really the main point of these morning shows, like trying to get to wins or celebrating some wins that we've gotten and everything. One thing that was kind of cool yesterday, Ro and I both got really focused. I mean, just absolutely like top of our capability level focused yesterday. And Ro got a huge part of the house reorganized and cleaned. And then for me, I got like 60 or 70 listings either up or prepared. And it just felt so good. We didn't actually make that many sales yesterday too, which is always kind of a bummer. But we realized too for us that we just need to find the joy in the process, in the work, and that grit that it prepares you for, like especially when you can keep up a high pace of work and achieve some kind of effective result, even if it's not the end goal, which is for us, sell items, have that money come in. It is really cool to have that personal grit inside of you to where you say, you know what? Hey, I'm not going to let an external circumstance determine my level of commitment or joy in the process, and to like still get through it. And it did result in some sales, no doubt. Maybe not at the level that we wanted, but if we had done nothing, our results probably would have been far less. So it's just kind of cool. And again, we thank all of you on here for giving us that little extra oomph in the morning, that motivation to get fired up and to just get results anyway. Just like we mentioned the other day, Steve Martin, be so good that they can't ignore you. We're not saying that we're good, but we are being good about making sure that we get our process done and getting that accomplished. So let's see here. And hey, Mr. Sadie, 121, woohoo. Yeah, we're so grateful. Every single one of our subscribers. We're very fortunate at this point that pretty much anybody that we've picked up is totally a team player. They're about celebrating everybody's wins, both their own and others. And they've been very generous with sharing helpful information and being there for each other. That's what more could you ask for as a just very budding baby channel that we are. But it's been so cool. You guys are just amazing. And it's funny, like when I used to watch some YouTubers say that, I'm like, well, they're just trying to say that to like build momentum for their channel or whatever. But now being on this side of it, when you see the effect it does have on you, like to have all these people jump in and be supportive and like, hey, it's great to see you and everything. Especially like here we are so early in the morning for those that are watching from the West Coast. Like some people had to probably make a focused effort in the morning.
Yeah.
Really, even if you're East Coast, you're still mid-morning. You're busy working to take some time out and then pay attention to the chat. That is so rocking. I can't even begin to describe to you guys what kind of feeling that is. I mean, for some of you, you've got very successful channels. I'm sure you get that feeling all the time. But for us being so brand new at this, we just want to take a moment, pause, and have gratitude, because that's the kind of thing that could easily start to slip by, and then other lack of gratitude starts to set in. But yeah, but we got Mr. Sadie. Oh, Dendicor Depot. Hey, so great to see you. Good morning, busy times, just showing some love. Hey, Dendicor, we understand how it goes for any of you, for absolutely any of you. You taking a minute out just to stop by and say hi means more to us than we could ever express. But especially too, for some of you that like we see all the work that you're putting in, and you guys are pausing for us for a moment, and we're baby size. We're probably not doing a whole lot that's actually like adding to your knowledge or your process, but you're here to still share with us. That is so cool. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm probably gushing too much today, but you know what? I don't care. We get excited when we are grateful for people. We lock that in.
Good morning, Diana.
Hey, we got Diana.
Diane.
Diana. Diana. I don't see that message yet, so I'm happy that you're spotting it, babe, because I don't know where that's at. But Diane or Diana, whichever one that turns out to be, Diane, we're so glad to have you with us. Thank you so much for being here. So let's see here. Cindy Roach, but one carload of Reader's Digest condensed went directly to Goodwill. She had every year from 63 to 92. We were afraid to go back there after that. Oh yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, were you afraid to go back to the Goodwill, or were you afraid to go back to the source that you got that from? But yeah, we've definitely run into that before. And one of the hardest things we're running into right now is when we've got people that are close to us that are like, hey, can you help me in this process? And when there's not the full understanding of what we've experienced, where you see the market can fluctuate, some people will freeze it in time for like a certain value. And it's difficult to explain the wave that something goes through. Mm-hmm. And so we're trying to develop a nice way of letting people know that, hey, even if you paid a certain amount for it, and even if it's a quality good, it doesn't guarantee that something's going to gain in value. That it can absolutely tank out. I mean, it's like on a very low level, it's like Beanie Babies, where it's like, you know what? Everyone had the expectation when they were starting to invest in those things that, okay, yep, you set the value here, just watch it grow from there. And then when it all bottomed out, there was a lot of people that really had a hard time processing the fact that the value had changed.
And then they make a show on the toys that made us and remind everyone that you didn't make a wise investment.
Yes, yeah. And I mean, hey, listen, we still got Beanie Babies listed on our store, so it's like we're with you. For anybody else there's probably somebody else on here that's still selling a ton of Beanie Babies.
Okay, but also you got a lot of joy from collecting Beanie Babies, so you got that joy.
It was okay. So I'll be real with you. That is something that me and my mom did, and it was actually a very precious time in my life that we did that together.
You guys enjoyed that.
So there was that. I guess if you're gonna bring up the childhood joy of looking back, I was like, well, I was a dude kid. And it's like, I guess that's fine, but it's like, I also had action figures and stuff. I just want to throw that out there.
And grown men have collected Beanie Babies. It is okay.
That's true. I'm not dissing. It's just like, I just did other stuff besides Beanie Babies. Does that make sense? All right. So let's see. Paul Rose, James, on the trolling recently, out of all of us, you're the guy killing it who has his ducks in a row. They're just morons, probably jealous. Ignore the Muppets. Yeah, I mean, don't ignore the good Muppets like Kermit, but but no, but definitely ignore the trolley ones. That's something that we're getting
Yeah.
more and more comfortable with the idea that eventually you're going to get the naysayers that show up and they want to be part of the process. But that's why too we're learning a lot more about just how you manage that well. And it's actually giving me a lot of courage to interact with humanity outside of this and like talk to just anybody, because it's like, you know what? If you're always running from a negative input, then you're going to be running hard and you're going to be running a long time. It's just because it's always going to be there. So
Yeah.
just getting comfortable. But then again, when you show up here, we want it to be a place of rest and recharge to get you fired up for your reselling day. But let's see here. Oh man, and thank you, Ryan Resells, for the 16 plus in the chat. Let's get thumbs up. That's so kind of you to say. Yeah, we're still a little shy about trying to be like, hey, everybody, give us a thumbs up. Try to subscribe to our channel. It's like it's so weird, but we're grateful for all of those that have. And if you do subscribe and like, we are very happy and grateful. So just throw that out there. It's
Okay,
like,
so
am I doing that now?
Jen says, I sell Beanie Babies. So we have a huge box of unlisted Beanie Babies that we just haven't even listed yet.
Yeah, get us your. We'll just ship them. You just get the free box of Beanie Babies at this point, because there's some things that we just don't know how to sell that well.
Yeah, because we're like, well, we have them, and so because he did get them from his childhood, but we're just like, So we just have a box of them, and they're just sitting there waiting for something to be done with them.
Wow. So Dende Cordipo just made the last payment on a bulk, I think it's bulk buy I did when I lost my day job 2 years ago that pushed me full time. It's rejuvenating. Man, actually, Dende Cordipo, let's see, can I highlight that? I don't know how to highlight that comment, but let's see. Can you pin it? I can pin the message, I guess. I don't know if that does anything for anybody, but it's pinned for us.
Pins it up at the top.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Dende Cordipo, super appreciate that. Again, that's the story where it's like, okay, you've got a story and I want to hear it. Like what led to the change in job? Then, what was it like carving through the bulk buy and everything? Those are the stories that we want told. And so thank you very much for sharing that. But it's glad. I love that term, rejuvenating.
Yeah, that was well said.
Yeah, well said. But yeah, rejuvenating. We all need kind of right now, we all need that refresh. And that's why too, we were gonna like change the name to the morning little podcast thing to like the Reseller Rewind, Reseller Refresh, Reseller Reset, or something, just because for all of us, I think, at least I shouldn't say all, for all of us, for me, I won't even speak for Ro on this, but for me, I realized that I can easily carry over baggage of disappointment from a previous day, and that'll weigh me down to slow my momentum for today. And so what I'm trying to do now is cast off any baggage of disappointment, frustration, letdown, or the trials of trying to battle with an imperfect platform, and just start each day fresh and say, whatever's in my control is going to be the only thing that I allow into my brain today, so that I can address it and get to work. So yeah, that's really cool. But that rejuvenating, that's like the key word. That's probably going to stick with me for the rest of the day today. That's so cool. All right. Let's see here. All right. Chat's going to start getting a wieldy for me.
So Cindy did ask a good question. Does anyone have a way to do inventory of an eBay store besides going category by category? And she did get a couple of answers in here. Matt at Dende Cordipo said, I use custom SKUs to log storage areas. You can sort by custom SKU. And then Spam said, I think you can export your active listings to a spreadsheet somehow. I have heard of that you can export your active listings. We have not done that yet, but that's a good reminder, Spam.
Really quick. Did we say good morning to Eric Resells yet?
No, I don't think so.
Good morning, Eric Resells. Sorry it's taking us so long to get to you there. Good
morning. I see it right now.
Yeah, yes. we're still getting
morning,
up to speed with managing the chat. If you're new to our channel, we're only a month old, and although we have been producing a lot of videos, it's funny that we're now at we're about a month and a half of being actually an active channel, and then we produced like 30. This will be 31 videos and everything. But for Tuesday through Thursday, we used to do 2 a day. Now we're just down to 1 a day. So just so you know, you're not going to get if you sign up, you're not going to get blasted with like another new video, another new video, another new video. So let's take a look here. So
But yeah, the custom SKU, that is also very helpful, and we've used that through the eBay platform a ton, and for the inventory as well. So I don't know if anybody else has any ideas, but if anyone else has any good ideas, bring them along because we'd love to hear them too.
yes, absolutely. And so it's funny too. Cindy Roach says, if it makes anyone feel better, LOL, we came off time away on May 5th after the move, been here 1 month, listing 15 to 20 items every day and sell similar, and had 4 days last week with no sales. Well, Cindy, if just to reinforce that, so we can share this together, that I was a listing machine last week, and we had 3 days where it wasn't no sales, but it was like 3 days of very like
Very low
$10
sales.
$10 sales. It might as well be nothing after you count shipping and all that stuff. So it's like, you know
they
what?
paid shipping on top of the $10, but still.
Yeah, but yeah, did they? I guess they did. But anyways, but yeah. So either way, you know, it could definitely be one of those things that's the baggage that I carry over to the following day that I'm trying to just like let go of, where it's like, okay, sure, I listed my brains out the other day and got only like a handful of sales, but you know what? Today might be different, and you know what? It could still not be different.
It's
but
true.
but
I
not
love the
carrying that baggage.
conversations about the Beanie Babies. So Jen says that she loves selling Beanie Babies. Matt says, I sell a ton of Beanie Babies. Kids love them. And then Cindy Roach says, I can't sell plush for their love or money. I can copy someone's listings verbatim. They sell them for $20. Mine just sit there. You know, I so feel you on that.
Yeah, we're in the second
feel like
category.
some stores are just really blessed in certain categories, and like I don't know if the algorithm favors their listings or something, but yeah, that is so true. It's like, wow, okay, these people are selling them. Yours are just sitting there.
This is a really nice way to find out today that we're just bad at selling Beanie Babies. That's
it could
cool.
be. Well, we don't have a ton listed either. I mean, we just have a box of them that need to be listed, but because we haven't gotten any success, we're like, well, you guys are just going to stay in the box.
That is so funny. By the way, I love too. Ryan Reese says, I am amazing. Oh, wow. No, you are amazing for recommending the thumbs up. As I did off screen, the thumbs up. You are amazing for recommending the thumbs up, Ryan.
Okay, I actually love that Ryan said that because I was on somebody's Instagram feed and they posted this little picture of like all these really cool daily reminders. But basically, and it was just like 7 reminders for the week and just good things to keep in mind. One is slow progress is still progress. That's actually the reminder I needed yesterday because even though Doug said that we were really active, I was very slow in my progress. So I needed that reminder. But like the third one is this is just a reminder, you are awesome. So good job that you recognize that yourself, Ryan.
That's right. See, that's shaking loose the baggage from the previous day. That it's like, all right, yeah, like everybody, all right, just take a moment and tell yourself that you're awesome. Okay, that's great. But so let's see here. Okay, you addressed Cindy Roach's comment there. Paul Rose, we love you guys, whether I'm doing well or not. I still want you guys to see. Yeah, Paul Rose, that comes through in all of your support and comments for others. You're one of the number one individuals for when somebody's going through a hard time, you jump in with something that'll help them get through it. And it's probably from personal experience, your own personal grit that you built up over time. But what's nice is that while some people might keep it up for themselves, you're absolutely generous and you make sure that gets to others. And that's why you're so beloved on so many channels, Paul Rose. All right. And then, so yeah, we said hi to Diane. Diane, so good to have you with us. Then Decor.
Wait, I want to address one more comment to Ryan. So Ryan says, every morning you should hug a Beanie Baby. All right. You know what, Ryan? This is what I'm going to do. This is, in fact, I'm going to try this for, I think, a week. I'm going to take the box of Beanie Babies and I'm going to give them a little love and attention. And I will list them. Let's just see if I give these things a little love and attention. Let's see if they sell. And every morning I'm going to be like, good morning, Beanie Baby. Now let's take some pictures of you.
All right.
I'm going to try that.
All right. Well, it's about to be very weird in our listing space for the next few days there.
I'm gonna hug a Beanie Baby.
Alrighty. Let's see here. I want to make sure we don't lose. Check it. Chat. Oh, Jack here, 1964. I will pay the shipping. Yeah, we'll get you some Beanie Babies. And let's see here. Yeah, Denny Cordipo, we sell tons of Beanie Babies in our store. Kids love them. I think you already addressed that comment, but yeah, it's so difficult to follow the chat, especially because it starts to shift up as you're watching it. To all those that also manage the chat on your show, we commiserate. It's definitely a challenge. But yeah, so you address that every morning you should have a Beanie Baby. Jen accepted a lower offer to get things moving. Hey, yeah, it starts to get momentum. That's fantastic. We had a couple major wins over the past couple days with all of our ephemera. There was a batch of tickets that apparently it was from like this season for the Cincinnati Reds when they won their championship back in 1990 that we just happened to have the first game tickets that they played for that season, and people are going nuts over them. One of the tickets just on their own is listed on our store, and it's currently bidding right now at like $26. And we would have never thought that those were listing so well, but we had a handful of them. So those are selling super well on there. And so we're really pleasantly surprised by that little box of tickets. It was the very last thing we picked up at this estate sale, and it's kind of like, well, you know, why not? Let's just throw that on there. And that has by far been the most valuable group of items that we picked up that whole day. And we were at that estate sale for a long time. So yeah. All right. Let's see here. Paul Rose, I only use the SKUs for multiples. Let's see. Oops, chat just moved on me. I only use the SKUs for multiples. The rest I have written. List with box. Oh, list. I'm sure the list with box numbers would be way too much hassle to change. Other stuff just in alphabetical number order. I find it if it sells.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Eric resells the struggle with eBay. You find something, check sold listed, and never sells. Yes, Eric resells, and that's the honest talk that that anybody that wants to get into reselling, they need to have like a sit down conversation where it's just like, so here's where you're gonna want to be pulling your hair out for like a little bit here, and that's definitely it. Where as opposed to a regular day job where you can see in many cases immediate results for activity, this is one of those things where you kind of build it. It gets tossed into the ether, and then every once in a while it spits out some cash.
Well, and that's kind of one of the issues with Goodwill and estate sales and stuff, because they'll look at those listed prices and it's like, that's not reality.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, let's see here. So Cindy, first time it happened to me in 5 years was part-time till 1999, but around 2020 had to go full-time. My job ended 2 years before retirement. Oh man.
Wow, that stings.
Yeah. I mailed all my push to my grandkids. Yeah, huh. Boy, I know it's so fascinating too as you hear everybody's story about like what had to go full time, why they're still part time, all of that. Oh, and then Spam Banshee, yeah, Paul Rose is fantabulous. He sure is. Oh, and then Paul Rose, that was List, not Lust. My phone is Lust again. I love how much your phone wants to switch it from List to Lust. That is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, Ryan Resells says, I bet they sell some laughy faces. Diane at Eric Resells, I have that problem with some Ralph Lauren stuff. Where did I go wrong, Ella? Oh yeah, you know what's funny? Ralph Lauren is so strange. Some of it sells like immediately, like lightning quick, and others, it's valuable. We've got a couple Ralph Lauren black label things.
I know you think you're like, oh, it's black label, and you're like, okay, this is green label, and then like the things that sell, and then the things that just sit there, and you're like, what is wrong with this listing? This is an awesome. Why? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but Ralph Lauren.
We agree, Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, so funny. Where did I go wrong? It's not you, okay? It's Ralph. It's Lauren. So Cindy Roach, you will be overrun with Beanie Babies sales. That's so funny. Let's see here. Cindy, it's my turn, Jen. Slow down now. That's so funny. I love their friendship. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Eric Resells, I enjoy the morning motivational videos. I am in a reseller. Let's see. I am in a reseller, currently in a burnout, and these videos do help.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I am a reseller.
Yeah, a reseller. Currently in a burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
No,
I don't do good at translating sometimes for what we all do, and that's sometimes a little word gets in there or something. So I got to work on that. But we appreciate the sentiment of what you're saying, Eric. Resells that we started this because we were kind of feeling that way ourselves. That we're just like,
that
you know
just
what,
happens.
we just need to be there for others that are also
It's a
going through
support
this.
group.
It's just that's what we are, everyone. We're the support group. We're the you're with Counselor Troy in the Starship Enterprise. Other people will be with the Captain Picard. Others are with Data. You get Deanna Troy here. That is funny for real because it's like one of our least favorite characters. So it's just
I love Diana.
I know. So I'm
I
having
watched the show
I'm
when I was a
having
little
my
girl
fun.
because of her. Her curly hair was just amazing.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Blame Ralph.
But that is so funny. Cindy Roach, I love ephemera, love vintage ephemera. Oh, I have too much. Yeah. So we're just starting to get into ephemera, but it's been a much less crowded category than clothing, which is our primary push, Cindy. So we it's great, but it's also frustrating seeing how much quicker the ephemera is selling than clothing because we've got huge boxes of clothing that takes up a lot of space. It's like maybe if we were just looking for baseball tickets this entire time.
Ephemera is so easy to store.
It's so easy to store. We got like a little box that's all lined up with all the little numbers and stuff. You just go and pluck it out.
Oh, this is interesting. Gina B said Tech and Sports recent video on mall brands discussed Ralph Lauren and Black Label.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep up with so much content, which again is why we're grateful that you're all here.
These were also like vintage pieces and everything, so it seemed they were really good, but who knows?
Eric Risa says, "Can you show a box with your ephemera storage?" Sure, I'll show you the box with our ephemera storage. Be right back.
Technically, there's two. There's the listed ones, and yes, it's very technical. The storage system that we use here.
So this is the already listed ephemera box, and it's funny that in here is literally 200 listings of different tickets, and it's literally just this little box, and we got them all lined up. And for the very big tickets, we actually just wrap them in the poly mailers that we use. So like for those tickets that they're wrapped up like that, and then for the very small ones, we just use then these basic. We actually got these because we also had some vintage currency that was kind of valuable, like some bills. And so we got a whole bunch of these. And so we store the really small ones in that. So that's the whole deal as you look through here. They're all stored in one of those two ways in the box. So, but let's see here. But yeah, but that's like a couple hundred, and we just got into ephemera too. So as it grows, we might change the whole system. But for 200 items fitting in that little tiny box, it's like, you realize how many bins we need for 200 clothing items?
Yeah. So Spam said, I heard you need to use the term flesh pony for Ralph Lauren items with the brown horse. I think the person saying that was trolling the group. Have you heard of them? And then I like Paul says, gotta be a wind-up Spam. That sounds gross, LOL. But then Spam said she just looked it up, and I looked up on eBay. Some people are using the term. That's interesting. I will look that up. It is funny how certain companies and styles do have those terms that it's like the if you know type thing. I'll look into that. That sounds interesting.
By the way, and because I mentioned this, it's going to happen to us all the time now. One of the most challenging things for us is when we are very closely paying attention to either our chat or another chat, like for another show, and somebody does jokingly call like something a term, like you mentioned that flesh pony could be something that is like, who knows what that could actually mean. It could be accurate to what it is, or they could be joking around. But that'll like send us on a wild goose chase sometimes where we're like, okay, let's this. And like you realize after an hour of research, you're like, I don't think that they were being honest about what that actually is. Yeah, I think I'm being punked right now. It's not awesome. But
there are, for instance, like Tech, you got to give Tech credit for the fact that he does know the terminologies and the keywords that go along with special things. And there are times where he has said, this is your keyword you want to use. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Okay, and so Spam Benji, right. I looked it up on Urban Dictionary and it's gross. Great. No, fantastic. But that's exactly why, so that's exactly why too, but you got to be so careful with all this stuff that you don't want to get
Good morning, Flippin' Ain't Easy. Glad to have you with us.
Oh, hey, John. Hey, so good to have you. Hey, you know what? Actually, look at this. Boom. Look what we got right here. Do these look familiar? Well, we're gonna share the fact that we got these on your show, and they arrived in great condition. Loved your whatnot show. Absolutely a blast, and you guys shipped it so well. And our box did not show up soggy, which know that there was some that had that challenge. Not due to you, of course, but due to
we've had
external
no rain.
elements. But yeah, that was so funny. But yeah, so anyways, but thank you very much for that and the nice note that you shipped it along with and everything. But glad you guys had such a fun show.
A fun package.
That tortilla challenge was so deeply funny with him and Biscuit Butt.
Okay, I love tortilla challenges, and I actually have not seen it yet, but Doug described it to me in vivid detail. And
videos, they put the video up. I'll show it to you.
I just haven't seen it yet. But it was good times.
Yeah, it was so funny. Okay, so showbox with ephemera storage, got that one. I gotta be wind up spam. That sounds gross. Yeah.
She says there's
anything with flash, it's like you're probably getting punked right now.
But she says there's 2,300 items that are using that term on eBay for Ralph Lauren.
Probably because somebody saw it, thought it was sincere, and
but then
there's so many listings out there that just do that.
Let's go with that then. Then if the algorithm starts favoring that terminology and you start using it, they might throwing yours up to the top of like it is. It can.
That is a possibility.
So it was a joke that has now turned into a legitimate keyword.
You know what? We're gonna move on from the subject because it's making me sad for humanity right now. Let's see here. So spam Benji Paul Rose. I know I looked on eBay. Some people are using the term. Let's see, like you need top loaders for those. Yeah, maybe we need to get some very nice top loaders. We
have top loaders, but we don't have tall top loaders.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. He might be joking that it's baseball cards, or he might know ephemera and then they make tall top loaders.
Can I say, do they have tall top loaders?
Can't emphasize enough, everyone. We're more here to learn than than teach.
If you're telling me I have to start buying tall top loaders now, that might break my brain.
Well, we're actually shipping them in pretty firm, like paper cases.
No, we're sending them in the small little boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they're
well
shipping.
Protected.
Yeah,
they're literally like bubble wrapped. I'm bubble wrapping paper, you guys.
Yeah, it's like we're shipping a tiny paper baby. We're very careful.
It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we want them to arrive in very good condition. So
well spam. Sorry, you had to take one for the team and like learn what that term was from Urban Dictionary Directory. You've spared the rest of us, but we're terribly sorry about that. Paul Rose, howdy John. Sorry I missed Monday. Was up at 3:30 a.m. and the Flippin' Ain't Easy stream didn't start until.
Oh, John, you just made me sad. Never again do a tortilla challenge. No, I think you should.
You'll sell the most stuff if you keep committing to a tortilla challenge.
We need a round 2, possibly.
Let's see here. That's interesting. So Denda Cordipo shared something productive too, that Jiminy Flip is a good channel for ephemera. So awesome.
That's good to know. Thanks.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to. Well, I can't. I usually have a pen with me always, and for some reason I don't right now. There's a pen. I'm gonna.
That's good.
I'm gonna make a quick note of that. Jiminy Flip. Sweet. Perfect. Thank you very much. I always do that. Like if somebody makes a recommendation, I put it on my notes as like Jiminy Flip equals ephemera. So it's like what am I going to go there for? Yeah, what will my value equal to as I go there? So now I'm going to think Jiminy Flip.
So Kelly Deb says eBay used to have a sturdy cardboard style mailer. I ship ephemera in those. I did recently order some ephemera shipping cardboard boxes that I don't have to build, because the little ones I have to build and they're kind of annoying and they're a little much because, like I said, the ephemera can kind of bounce around in there. So that's why I bubble wrap it. So today I'm getting much better ephemera shipping cardboard thick envelopes. I guess it's the best way I can describe them.
Yeah. And actually really quick, John, Flippin' Ain't Easy. I've just never made note of it. Excuse me. Wow. So, I've never made note of it. Do you guys have a set time that you do your lives, or is it kind of as you feel it? You kind of go for it. Because if so, we always love to share other channels and everything. I know we got Ryan Resells Infinity. He's also got a show at the very end too. We're going to talk about making sure that everybody goes to see Primo Kimo and Spam Benchy and their show at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Lag is saying they do make ticket top loaders. That's incredible. I had no idea.
Yeah, and so
Thank
that's
you for
actually,
letting me know.
yeah, that's good information that we could go ahead and look up there.
Yeah,
Lag. Thank
we
you very
did
much.
not. Well, I personally did not know that, so I'll look into that.
Flipping ain't easy. I could have been arrested for assault. Yeah, assault with a salty weapon with the tortilla. But Paul Rose, I'm certainly not giving advice lately, Doug. I think I need intervention the way it's going. Oh yeah, no, we're definitely in the same boat. What's like we'll celebrate what appears to be working in case somebody views it, applies it, and
Yeah.
enjoys it. But it's definitely not a, well, you know what you got to do. What we've said from the very get go, that'll never be us.
Rigid Millers, that's what they're called. Thank you, Jen. I'm glad you deciphered that from my excellent description.
We're so glad
Rigid
you're with
Millers,
us.
that's what they're called. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So cool. So Flippin' and Easy too shared it. He shared it. He shared 3 p.m. Pacific time on Monday and Friday. Okay, great. Flippin' and Easy. That's good to know the actual schedule. We usually just see it and we go, oh cool, they're on. We hop on. So.
And Lag said you can get tickets graded like cards. It is funny. We do have some unclipped cards that are tickets that are in very good condition. But once again, didn't think about getting them graded or anything. It's just in every field, there's such a level of expertise that when I hear about that level of expertise, it really just blows my mind. It's incredible.
Yeah. And Jen said, I love rigid mailers. Yeah, it's true. Let's see here.
It is 8 o'clock. We've been on for an hour. So.
Hey, and Swamp Picker. Yeah. Okay. So we're hitting an hour. Well, hey,
Hello, Swamp Picker.
Yeah, Swamp Picker is so good. And Swamp Picker, what's your name, if you don't mind sharing? That I know, like a lot of people refer to everybody by their actual name. We're trying to lock those in and get us familiar. We've been loving your content too. We get why everyone calls you the OG or like part of the OG crew. So it's super cool. And is that Glenn? We're all Glenn. Kent Douglas says, hey, Kent, good to see you with us, man. Glenn. And as you can tell, Ro is awake. Kent, so
I am awake. Sadly, I'm awake.
Yeah. So is he saying hey Glenn or is he Glenn? Or somebody else Glenn in the chat?
I think they're saying yes.
Swamp Picker is Glenn, yeah.
Yeah, they're
wait. All right. Hold on. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
I don't think that's true because why would he be saying hi to himself?
Well, he could be saying like hey to us and then it's Glenn or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. Or maybe Glenn is somebody else in the chat. Whoever Glenn is, we will find you. All right. His name is Glenn, not Glenn. All right. My real name is Glenn. Wait, hold on. No. Lags should be somebody else. Hold on, wait. Hold.
Everyone is Lag. Everyone is Glenn now.
All right.
Okay, Swamp Picker said that he is Glenn.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's like, I almost got us, Lag. That was a good one. That was a good try. But yeah, it's like we're learning. See, we learned stuff, we figured out. But swamps are cool. Swamps are cool. Oh man, you guys are hilarious. Well, let's see here. So Paul Rose, I overpacked the ephemera.
I know, I was just reading that.
Really had one buyer who likes to give negs for packaging, leave me positive, but stay difficult to get into. Who are these people? You know, you just can't win.
You can't win.
You can't win sometimes.
So I was actually thinking about that yesterday because I did put it was like I was putting a baby to sleep in the box and everything like that. And it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, if they cut it open this way, there's no way they can get to it because it cuts this way. And I was doing all of this scenario in my head because I'm like, what if they grab it too aggressively and then they destroy? And it was one of those things where I'm like, get out of your head. You've packed it very well. Just ship it. It's done.
So, yeah, we've got actually some fun ideas that we're going to be working on over the next few weeks and months, all around packaging for items and stuff that should be kind of fun. I won't give it away, but it should be pretty fun.
Keep in mind though that remember we are not the experts in anything with shipping, and so you guys will see us make lots of mistakes, and it will be fun.
Yes, absolutely. It should be a joy. Mm-hmm. Well, now that we've set the table for a future video at some point, I think this might be a good opportunity for us to go ahead and close it out because typically we try to keep these actually pretty brief, about to a half an hour. But we had so many great comments today, really got us fired up.
It was fun.
And even now, I'm regretting the fact that we have to shut it down, but we really want to keep these all manageable for individuals. But you guys are just so cool. we're so grateful for you. You're hilarious as all get
We're
out.
trying to give you guys something to laugh at the beginning of the day, which includes some of our mistakes, and just support each other, commiserate a little, and then end off on a high note to where we can all go and get those listings taken care of.
Yep. And so just a reminder, Primo Chemo is at 10 a.m. Pacific time and 1 p.m. Eastern time. I got to go back and check and see when Footbin and Easy was.
3
3
but it's, yeah, I don't know the time zone
p.m.
they're in.
Okay, hold on.
So
3 p.m.
So
John,
Ryan,
if you're still here, say it again. 3 p.m. Monday and Friday?
yeah, it's 3 p.m. Monday and Friday, but I don't know what
Pacific
time
time. He said Pacific time.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Pacific time. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, so catch them. They're loads of fun and
And then
super
Ryan
awesome.
Resells Infinity says Sundays at 6 to 7-ish.
Yep. So awesome. Well, yeah, and anybody else that has a show and a record crate, you've got one. Oh, John Jones, great to see you there, buddy. Good morning. I'm waiting any chance to start over. That's hilarious. Yeah, well, we'll have another one coming back around tomorrow morning for everybody, but we want to make sure that we don't run these too long. That's definitely something that we're. Oh, Ken Daigle, any dog sightings? Yes. Where is she?
She's right over there.
Oh yeah, she's in the morning. Our little dog likes to go out, and she lives her best life. While we're working away, she gets some sun.
Right where she's laying. There's big glass doors right here. She lays right at the door because the sun comes in, and she likes to sun in the mornings. She's depressed right now because there's no sun.
Ken Daigle says, "Don't bother her."
Yeah, she's still just laying there, but she's wishing that the sun was shining on her right now.
But yeah, but you guys are so awesome. We hope you have some major wins today, and then we look forward to hearing about them as we have them in the future. So appreciate
high five for everybody.
High five, everybody. Yeah, that was so funny. Stay perky, everyone. Thanks to, I know we're missing like Silver Hair Stacker and a few others because they were still on Bearded's show. And again, for all those that were on Bearded's show, we hope we didn't pull you away and everything. We want Bearded to get all the time that he has earned for all of his work over these many years that we still learn from. So, but anyways, you guys rock. We'll talk to you guys soon and have a fantastic
Love you,
day.
Stan. Thank you.
Yeah, get those major wins, everybody. Bye now.
Bye.